Okay, this is my first video on electric vehicles, stroke Tesla. It's become quite an interesting subject over the past, probably almost 18 months now. I saw the Model 3 Tesla reveal event via the internet. That got my interest going in EVs and things like that. I also read the book by Elon Musk and his journey as to EVs when he started off with PayPal and things like that, and I can thoroughly recommend his book if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's a fascinating read. But yeah, the Model 3 Tesla, there's lots of videos on YouTube, and I'm not trying to outdo everybody. I think when you are researching EVs, I think you do end up acting like a sponge and dragging as much information in as you can as to what's going on, all the different models, etc., and just generally becoming more knowledgeable on the subject. The Model 3 for me, and a lot of people have posted on it, is a very interesting car, certainly for the UK. We currently obviously at the moment have the Model S and the Model X. The Model S is the larger car, more an executive vehicle, and the X is more of an SUV type vehicle, and the more classed as more premium cars. The Model 3 really got my interest going because it's what Tesla call an entry-level car. So its base price in dollars is, for those who don't know, is $35,000, but that does come as a, it does have autonomous driving hardware built into it, but it is the entry-level car. We're not slated really to get that in the UK until early 2019. I've had a reservation down on the Model 3, which you're paying £1,000, since mid-September last year, and I was hoping that we were going to get, as per Elon's earlier tweets, we were hopefully getting the Model 3 in the UK. I think he stated summer 2018. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case now, so when I log in and look at my Tesla reservation, it does say early 2019, so that's still a long while to wait off the Model 3. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to keep that reservation going. The current car I have now is a petrol. It's Audi TT convertible with automatic transmission. And what I've decided to do is, now my loan has finished with that, with the bank, I'm actually going to use the equity in that to trade in on a PCP, which is what a lot of people do now in the UK. I think I was reading the other day that 80% of new cars sales in the UK are actually PCPs as opposed to bank loans, which I used to traditionally do. So I'll take the opportunity to use the equity of the TT. If I left it another 12 months, it would depreciate more. So I'm going to get into the Tesla, I think they call it Tesla family, a lot earlier. So I've actually ordered an inventory car, which they've already made off the production line. So I'm going for the base Model S with the panoramic roof and a 70 kilowatt hour battery. Recently they changed the models from an S75 to an S75D, which means it's got four-wheel drive. I don't really need four-wheel drive, but what it did do, when you look at the price in pounds, I think it put another £4,500 on the base price of the car. And for the PCP, for most people, you'll start to look at what your monthly payments are going to be for the car, and then offset that what you would normally do for paying for fuel, etc. And that, when I looked at the D75D, it just came a little bit more prohibitive and more than I really wanted to pay per month for the vehicle. When I looked on the inventory site of the Tesla, which is quite interesting, they hadn't got any base Model 75s on there, but when I emailed Tesla European Sales asking them if I wanted to, at some point, could I move from an S to a Model 3, which wasn't an issue incidentally, they did actually say, well, we do have some inventory cars, so they do have a different list that they can look at compared to what you can look at on the website. So that's what I've done. I've gone for a blue Model S 75 rear wheel drive, but I've turned the autopilot on because recently I had a 100D Model S on loan a weekend. Tremendously helpful at the Stockport Tesla showroom. The store manager and the staff, they're absolutely brilliant. I can recommend dealing them, and you know, I can really do recommend the weekend test drive. The reason I did that is that my longest journey, typically other than occasionally down to London or something like that, is my son lives up in Newcastle, so we do the 140-mile trip up there every now and again and then come back. And I wanted to see what the Model S would be like in a real life scenario, and it handled it really well. We did the supercharger thing. I wanted to do that. I wanted to see if the range was realistic, if the battery usage was realistic, and did you get to your destination at your predicted rate. All of these I did. We turned on the autopilot, and it was a breeze, to be fair. Driving on the motorway on the M6 in the UK, I got onto that from Newcastle and just turned on the autopilot, and you hardly have to touch the wheel. Even the lane changing was brilliant. And what I did find is when I got to the end destination, I was more relaxed, and the journey felt quicker, and even interaction with passengers you had more, because you didn't have to massively focus on driving on the busy M6 motorway. So yeah, so this is my first video. I've now ordered the Model S. I'm going to allegedly take delivery on it mid-November, so I'm looking forward to that very much. But what I will start to do is a few more videos around the Model S, its use, its real life usage, how you find it, and then all things being equal, at some point then, you know, the S will then turn into a Model 3 when they do come available, and then I'll have the decision to make. Do I hand the S back, use the equity in the S, and then offset that against the Model 3? But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But I'm really looking forward to the S. You know, there are lots of videos on the internet. I encourage you to go and look at them. Model 3 Owners Club, like Tesla. James Cook is a really good one. In fact, I use James Cook's referral code to get some discount on the S that I place, and also I've got free supercharging for life on it as well. So this is my first video. Hopefully you found it useful. There are many other videos out there and people doing these videos, but I don't think you can get enough information on these sort of things. But hopefully, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll get some more videos done soon.